Starting off, 3 games into the season, what have you seen so far? What have you liked from your squad? What have you seen for points of emphasis to work on?
Well, definitely, the biggest thing right now that we have is we've just been short players. We had two players, Lucy Roach and Presley Blomers, that qualified for state doubles tennis, and so they missed a game and a half on Saturday in our tournament at Williamsburg, so we really missed those two. And then Faith Durande, of course, who signed to play volleyball at Iowa State, missed this weekend too. She ended up being sick and couldn't make the tournament, and with Faith being in track, and also Malia Walker, our All-State center fielder, back, and Lydia Van Veldhuizen, who we had planned on, being in the starting spot. Those three girls just haven't, we just haven't seen them very much practice-wise because of how far they went at state track. So it's been tough, having five starters not there, and trying to plug in different people. So, yeah, not the kind of start that we want right now, where we're at 0-3, but we've been here before, and we've always talked to the kids about that. It's not how you start; it's how you finish and where you finish. So that's the big picture, and that's what we're shooting for yet.
Coming off that state appearance, and like you said, not the ideal start. Do you think the girls feel any pressure, or is it just kind of they know it's early on and they're experienced enough to just kind of rub it off?
Yeah, I think they definitely know that, 'cause we kind of started the same way last year. Had a rough start out of the chute and didn't really get going after about 2 weeks into the season. Then we really had a good run at the end, and just played some very good softball. So, yeah, right now I don't think there's any panic, from the kids, and we talked about that after the game the other night. Now if we're still playing this kind of ball 2 weeks from now, then maybe we have some problems. But I have faith in these kids, and they've been through it definitely before, so I think things will work out all right.
Talk to me about the makeup of this team, young, old, experienced, where you see some potential strengths, weaknesses, anything you got on that front.
Well, it starts at the top. We have three All-Staters back from last year. First-team All-State pitcher Faith Durande, and just a phenomenal athlete, all the way around. And she makes us really good when she's in the circle and can throw the ball. So we look for Faith to get better and better. Said she just hasn't had a lot of time to be able to put into softball yet, and so she's got some catching up to do, and she knows that. And hopefully, 2 weeks down the road, she'll be, in top form, and really, making us a tough ball club by the way that she pitches and hits for us. 'Cause she usually hits number one, and again, she hasn't had that much time to swing the bats, but again, she'll be right there. And then, of course, Malia Walker, second-team All-State center fielder, just had a great year last year too. Another phenomenal athlete that was in 4 events at state track. She's got some catching up to do as well, and she'll be a big plus for us. Then our catcher Olivia Gordon, who was a third-team All-Stater, and she led us in RBIs and just a big part of our hitting. So hopefully that those three are going to be our top people. But then you look at we have Aubrey Boonder back, who had a great year last year at third base and just really stepped in and did a great job defensively and hit the ball very well. And so far, she's been swinging the bat pretty good here early in the season. Presley Blomers, our shortstop, who really came on late last year. We moved Lucy Roach, our second baseman, and Presley. We flipped them. Started out, Lucy was our shortstop, and Press was our second baseman. We flipped those two, and they just really worked well together as our middle infield. And Presley had a great state tournament, really swinging the bat. She was swinging the bat really well, at Fort Dodge, and really came on. And Lucy so far has looked very good early in the season, hitting the ball, swinging the bat a lot better than she did last year. And again, we look for, her to have a really good year as well there. And then in the outfield, besides Malia in center, we have two spots to fill, left and right field. Those two girls graduated, and as well as our first baseman last year, our 3 seniors that we lost, and so we're trying to plug in a little bit and find some people there. We had a girl move in from California, Alexis Price, who signed to play at Penn next year. She's been playing a little third base, catching, designated player. I think as we get going, as she'll fit into the program, really well. And Shannon Van Reenen, number 2 pitcher, who's thrown most of the games for us so far. A lefty, had a good year last year as a freshman, and we look for Shannon to get stronger as the season goes on. And then right now we're plugging Haley Harbor in left field, and then Lydia Van Veldhuizen who's never played the outfield before, but we're making Lydia an outfielder because we like her aggressiveness at the plate and running the bases. So, those are kind of our 9 people right now that we're really taking a look at.
Specifically going to Olivia, started all 38 games for you last year, hit 414, just off to a pretty good start here this year. What makes her so tough at the plate for opposing pitchers, would you say?
Well, I think she's got a really good eye at the plate and looks for her pitch to hit. She's a strong girl, good volleyball player as well. She was a setter for the state volleyball team. She signed to go play at Peru State next year, both softball and volleyball. So, and she's been playing now, for a couple years. Her dad's volunteer coach. She knows the game really well, and she's just a really good leader, for this group. I just like the way that she steps out and takes that leadership role.
Talking about some of those girls that have made to state in different sports, do you guys kind of enjoy the emphasis on being able to be different sport athletes here at Oskaloosa? Because it seems like you guys have a winning tradition in basically a lot of the sports that you do that, at least that I've seen.
Yeah, we do, but it does. It's frustrating, for spring or for summer baseball and softball because it does take away, your kids being at practice. Even though we have that extra week of practice, it really doesn't help us much because we don't see those kids. We have the same kids there every day. The track kids are supposed to come and try to get there, but because of track practice going longer, or the meets that they had, and the kind of spring we had this year with all the makeup meets and so forth, we just didn't see those kids. So they really are behind, and it makes it frustrating because what kind of team that you can have, but definitely we're not there yet where we need to be. We did start out and play some tough competition right out of the chute. The Knoxville Ball Club and the South Central Conference, they're going to be pushing Eddyville, Albia, Davis County. They're going to be right there because they have a very fine pitcher and a nice ball club. They're very young, but they're really coming on. And I was very impressed with them when they beat us last week. And then, of course, going to Williamsburg and facing Williamsburg, they're also a power. And their pitcher, Peyton Driscoll, one of the top pitchers in the state. So we had to face them, early on without 3 starters there. And then we had to place Muscatine, which kind of ball club they have, 5A, which I think Atumwa knows what kind of club they are because I think that's who they had to run into last year and play. So, yeah, we're off to a tough start, but, again, that's part of it. I don't think we were the 6th best team in the state as we came out preseason rankings, but that's where we're at. And like we've talked before, rankings don't mean anything right now. If we're ranked at the end of the year, then we know that we've had a good year.
2 more for you. Little Hawkeye Conference looks to be solid again this year with 3 in the top 10. And I read that you guys had a top 10 hardest schedule in the entire state. Not sure how accurate that is, but that's what Varsity Bound had. How do you think that tough schedule will benefit you guys later on in the season?
Well, that's one of the things that I told our kids, after the Williamsburg tournament. We've worked really hard to build this program up here in the past 37 years that I've been here, and we've stepped out and we've gone and played, good competition because I always believe that that's going to make you better in the long run, who you do play. So a situation now because of the program that we have, teams that play us that maybe aren't ranked, I mean, that's their chance to knock off, a good ball club. So we have to be at the top of our game because teams come ready to play us every night. But, yeah, it's hopefully going to make us better in the long run. The Little Hawkeye Conference is just so tough up and down, like last year I think we ended up 4th and Pella Christian like 6th or 7th in the conference. We were only 2 teams that qualified for the state tournament when you got a Dallas Center Grimes and you had a Norwalk and you have an Indianola who are just, very, very good softball traditional programs. They don't make it, but the 2 of us do. So it kind of shows you what kind of conference we have to play in, night in and night out. And then when you step out of the conference, who do we play? Well, we play a Knoxville, we play a Albia, we play an Eddyville, we play a Davis County. So it just doesn't get any easier.
And then last one for you, a lot of games we talked about here coming up. How important is this stretch to start getting some good momentum on your side and playing some good softball?
Yeah, I think that's very, very crucial now that, I think each game that we start playing now that especially we start conference play against Newton here, varsity doubleheader, and we have to start, playing a lot better softball. And we have to start getting better pitching and putting the bat in the ball. Right now, those are the things that we just have to definitely do a better job of. But yeah, it's very crucial now that we got to start getting things going a little bit, swinging the bats better, and hopefully, you know, seeing live pitching. That I thought we looked a little much better the last game against Muscatine at the plate, and we had better pitching that game. So it's there. We just got to start putting it all together.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Coach.
You bet.